compound. It's also got a staggered setup, so it's 305 section width on the back. This is the same 275. Brakes are the same, just different color to let people know you're in a quad motor. Air suspension is the same. So you'll pretty much just notice that that front end doesn't have that traction issue.
And tires is just the number one thing that makes that difference between grips. So
yep.
This has just the max amount of grip available from Michelin.
And I think this one, because we partner with Michelin, so this is exclusively for the Rivian. Is I think they said something about it being like a first 3D printed tire from Michelin.
Just the newest technology on this tire.
Yep.
Quad motor is also going to feel so much more different than even the triple motor that's on Tesla cars.
Oh yeah. I think the only other quad motor vehicle I know of is the Rimac. And then there's also a Zeekr in China that has one too. This is Red Canyon. Those two colors unfortunately are being discontinued. See how there's no front traction issues compared to the tri-motor. That's the biggest thing there.
Yeah, it's actually a big difference. How does he not see the green arrow that's right ahead of him? Probably a senior person, I'm guessing. I love the sound of the electrical motors.
When you hold the brake, it does that.
Yeah, I'll do its conserve first and then sport.
Sure.
1,025.
Yeah. So compared to the other one, it's 850 and then 1198 pound-feet of torque instead of 1103 on the tri-motor.
Jesus. And what colors is available for the exterior?
So for quad motor, you'll have pretty much the whole kitchen sink to choose from, or well, that you can throw at it. But it's like this is forest green. The one that you saw on the inside when you first came in, that's storm blue. That's one of our newer colors. There's also another color called Rivian blue, which is our CEO's favorite. And then you have other ones too, like LA silver, glacier white, El Cap granite.
Nice variety though.
Limestone, as well as Red Canyon. Those two colors unfortunately are being discontinued. So there are some that are still available, so if there's anybody that's still trying to look for one of those, like check out the R1 shop, because it's pretty much while supplies last kind of deal.
And what's the price difference between the quad and the triple?
So the quad motor starts at $106,000 or $107,000 for the R1S, and then for the tri-motor, the quad is a little bit more at $125,000.
I'll say it's still worth it though.
Yeah. You know, especially when you compare it to like the competition, like Range Rover, they'll charge way more.
Yeah, Range Rovers, they start off at probably like 140,000, 150,000.
Even too, like the Cadillac, I mean, it is a bigger vehicle, but the Escalade IQ, that starts at 150 grand for their electric one.
You get an overall better purchase for the price with this.
Yeah, we like to think of it as it's like a multi-tool vehicle, where you needed to do something like bring a bunch of people, you needed to go off-roading, you need just like nice sporty SUV, whatever it is you're looking for, it's all in one vehicle. There was a customer the other day, he's got a Range Rover and a Model Y Performance. I was like, cool, this can do both of those a little bit even quicker for all-in-one vehicle and less than the price of your Range Rover.
Yeah, it's like the complete package with everything that you would want, but in such a better price than the rivals.
Yep. And I think that's the biggest appeal to it too, and why we've been successful these past few years is just we have so much to offer.
To be frank, the people that do buy the quad motor, they want it for the actual horsepower, and that's one of the primary reasons they buy it, because of that horsepower.
Yep.
Otherwise, they could choose like a triple motor or get the dual motor.
And I came from the dual motor. I had a dual motor with a large pack, and I just upgraded because of all the incentives that were going on. It didn't cost me any extra to
make the swap.
Yep. So I got the California Dune which is a tri-motor max pack.
And then how much is that? How much was the price? They're not offering that anymore, huh?
No, we still have a few left in the R1 shop, but there's no way for you to like configure it because there's pretty much just one option. It's just, do you want the satin graphite, like the little titanium looking wheel, or do you want paint colored matching wheels? And so it's $105,000 for the California Dune R1S. It's a little bit less for the R1T, but the R1T we're sold out on.
And with the quad motor, there's also even better torque vectoring.
Yeah, you got true torque vectoring all the way around.
And to think this is 1,000 horsepower, and how would a Rimac feel?
Right? I know the Navara, the regular Navara was 1927 horsepower.
And they brought it to 2,000 plus.
Yep, the R.
Crazy. So of course, California drivers, that also doesn't want to give space.
Oh yeah, that's true. Be good after the camera. Right. Yep. Yeah, it's just pretty much whatever gap you can get, you gotta fill in.
Yeah, that's where the power also comes in handy, because once you see that opportunity, you just hit the throttle a little bit, then you have that space too.
Exactly. No, I think that's what a lot of people aren't quite understanding, is just like, even when you don't want to use the power, like
it becomes necessary.
It can be used for getting into those gaps, or let's say, you know, somebody suddenly brakes right here in front of you, being able to
just maneuver
shift around, and then you have to pick up because the vehicles in that lane are traveling much faster. Then it can be used for safety purposes too. And so even like our base models, the dual motor, the base one does 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds.
And that's one of the better things about electric vehicles too, is that you don't have to always worry about the braking, because it just does it automatically. Otherwise, continuously move your foot.
And on top of that too, with a vehicle of this weight, that'll definitely help keep your brakes, you know, alive. You don't have to replace them as often.
Yeah, it can last for years and years.
The Polestar 2 that I had put 120,000 miles in 2 years. It's nice knowing that you have the capability. You don't even have to use it, because it's just, if in an emergency situation, that's just the like attentive driver alert thing, but it's just because this guy's coming in.
Yeah, that's a good safety feature of the car too.
It's a green light, buddy.
Oh my god, how does he not see the green arrow that's right ahead of him? Probably a senior person, I'm guessing. And I've also, the second fastest car I've gone with was the Shelby GT500. Drove that to 182 miles per hour. But the McLaren was just like 1 mile more. That was 183 that I went with that car.
And that was a 720S, right?
Yep, 720S.
And 720, both of them are amazing cars. And it's, to me, the crazy thing is that the 720S is like a 10-second quarter mile. Even if you swap the tires, you can get it sub 10 seconds. It's rear-wheel drive. Like, that's crazy how quick that car is for rear-wheel drive, especially off the line.
I know, and the way that thing just accelerates is, it just makes you, it changes the perspective of speed in that car.
Just because that 405, once it clears up around the 22, I can floor it. But here it's just, you're not moving, as you can tell.
Yeah, it's just the absolute worst. I think we have the second worst traffic in, I think, the entire United States. I think New York is only worse, and then it would be us here in LA. Those Bremo brakes are amazing. Just doing halfway through, the car just brakes so fast.
Yep. Especially for a vehicle of this way, that'll definitely save you.
Yeah, that's the thing with brakes though, is that's what causes accidents, because people that speed with their cars, their own brakes is what leads to their downfall.
Because they're not able to stop in time.
If you're gonna have like a sports car or tune the engine, you gotta get some of.
You gotta make the whole thing well balanced.
Yep, gotta upgrade those brakes.
50, and most people honestly 850.
Yeah, 850 would be great for them.
We have a lot of customers though where they want the best of the best, and so that's what the quad motor is kind of
top of the line.
Yeah. That's what a lot of people like too is about our vehicles too, is that like it's not entirely silent when you want to floor it. Like you know that there's something going on.
Yeah, it's like a satisfying feeling also when you hear that. As Rivian, do you know if they're gonna ever also make a sedan anytime soon, or is it just gonna be SUVs and the trucks for the time being?
I don't know. We don't get access into that info. So the only thing we have is just the R2 coming up, which is the smaller crossover, and then the R3 and R3X, which is our like electric hatchback.
That's for sure gonna bring even a lot more sales.
That's what the V8, right?
Yeah, with the twin turbo V8.
The 3-cylinder is no slouch too. That one, I think it was like what 1250, 1300 horsepower or something like that.
1,700
for the 3-cylinder hybrid.
Yep, 3-cylinder hybrid.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they made 600 horsepower just from the 3-cylinder alone.
Yeah, they're I think they call their electric motor dark matter. It's crazy how it weighs 80 pounds or 80 kilos, but it can do like 600 horsepower.
Yeah, not even the electric motor geniuses over at Rimac was able to accomplish something like this. What time is that location open and close?
We're there from 10 to 6:30. For drives though, they start at 10:45, and then the last drive would be 5:30.
5:30.
Yeah. If anybody's looking to do a demo drive weekdays, if they have the time, just because they can spend more time with the vehicle. As you already know, we left like at 3 o'clock. We came back, we swapped cars and still going, because weekdays drives are hour long, and then weekends are 30 minutes. Just because of how busy we are on the weekends.
And are you guys open currently 7 days a week?
Yes, 7 days a week. Yeah, we plan to be there for, from my understanding, 9 months. Last weekend was our opening weekend, and then from there, I think we'll be taking over Fisker's old spot, GT3, not the RS.
Alright, I've driven a GT3 once before.
Yeah.
Those things have such good grip on them, even though they have lower horsepower than most supercars, just because of the cornering abilities and the speed upon acceleration you get, just makes them hold like the track record.
Porsche engineering is really good, and I think it's one of our CEO's favorite car brands that is, you know, not a Rivian.
Not electric. And they defy my logic of how they put an engine, instead of most supercars being mid-engine, they put it
rear.
Yeah, directly on the rear.
Well, not to mention too how much performance they're able to get out of a 6-cylinder.
How many test drives do you usually go on in one day?
Weekends, I think this past weekend we had like 15 to 20 drives. Weekdays, just because everybody's working and stuff, that it's a little bit less. That's why the drives are longer.
Yeah, it's always Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that's gonna stay the most busy. Yeah,
this past weekend too, it was an opening weekend for us. So like normally the drives are like 30 minutes, but we had to keep it down to 15 minutes because of how many drives.
How busy you guys had.
Because aside from the ones that were scheduled, a lot of customers didn't know that we were coming here, so they wanted to do a walk-in drive, and we had to make sure that it wouldn't overlap with other scheduled drives as well.
But the more the merrier of customers that want to do the test drives, because they could end up being an actual buyer afterwards.
Yeah, no, one of them too, he came from a BMW X5, and he said that he didn't like the software and it was very laggy, and he just asked out of the blue, like, oh, you guys don't do test drives here, do you? He says, no, we do. We have demo drive units in the back, if you want to go for a drive. And we got him into one, and I think he placed the order the same day.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed about your software, that everything's just so fluid and no lag at all.
Yep. You can switch it. You got the Unreal Engine running here, so like for example, all this animation, when you change, like I'm going to change it to all purpose, all this animation right here, based on that, and it's seamless.
Really like the interface, what they've done with the options and the animation they have for it.
Even with the app to it, the configuration, when an owner is looking at their vehicle through the app, it'll match. Just those little things there, just like customers know that we're paying attention to the smaller details.
And that's what could also be a decision maker too. Is those small little things. You could honestly just use sport mode during the entire time when you do drive, because in many cars that I've driven, from sport cars or electric cars, when you go into sport mode, then it just becomes unusable to do it as a daily basis, and it just takes away that type of comfort that you would expect.
Yeah.
But
especially with these kinds of roads.
yes,
Yeah.
with LA roads. Versus with Rivian, there's truly a major difference in that terms of quality that you get from the actual suspension and the feeling when you actually drive the car or accelerate. Now, this is a good thing that you guys do test drives until, you said 5:30, huh?
Yes, until 5:30. So anybody who gets off work.
Their work is close by from here and they always want to test drive Rivian, they could just go pull up and park their car and do that test drive. And it's still an epic experience to drive the triple motor and quad motor, especially with this type of design and getting the feel of how Rivian, the capabilities of it.
Yeah.
With the quality from the comfort, the suspension, the actual driving dynamics, the steering.
End of the day, we understand too, like, it's an SUV. Like, we got the sports car cred in the sense that it's quick, but people want to bring their families, or they want to bring their dogs, or they just want to do stuff with it. So like, it's got to be a usable daily driver too. It has to be comfortable, but at the same time, it's not gonna like scare anybody into thinking that they don't have control in the vehicle. So basically, like, controlled comfort.
Actually use the power that's available in this car without having that fear.
Yes, exactly. Because for a lot of people, like probably like 90% of the customers, this is the first time they'll ever drive a 1,025 horsepower vehicle, or even 850 in the tri-motor, or 665, 533 in the dual motor. So being able to make it approachable for them is one of the top priorities.
Yeah, I'm glad that Rivian took the approach to actually increase the horsepower that's available to customers from that 600 to all the way until the 1,000 plus in this car. It gives that wide variety of customers, where some people would want lower horsepower, other people just want that max as we talked about.
Exactly, yeah. Like, there's a lot of customers too that we had where they came from Range Rover and stuff, and they don't care about the horsepower. They like it, but it's not a needed thing. So like, for them, a performance dual motor is all they would ever want, and that's 665, 3.4 seconds 0 to 60 already.
And the reliability too. With Jeeps or Range Rovers, yeah, they're great cars, but you have to change the oil so many times, or there's mechanical issues that could happen, and all that worry just goes away as soon as you buy an electric vehicle like Rivian.
Exactly. There's a lot less moving components, and on top of that too, like, we're able to improve the car through software updates.